Stop the cap.
Look, this is a public service announcement from SWP. But let me say this. Look, and this is to all my black men out there that are from the streets, from the hood, that grew up in poverty. I have to tell y'all this. And I know we're not 100% there yet, but eventually, we're going to get there. And I'm talking about the educated lame class or just lame class. Okay. During the years that Donald Trump was president, African Americans bought more guns than anybody. Okay. This is just the black people who obviously went through the background checks. This is not, your people who were buying polymer 80 kits and circumvented the background check system. This is not people who, were somehow getting their guns illegally. These are people who were getting their guns legally. Okay. Same thing with concealed carry. All right. I can't go into too many details, but I'll just say something happened and I was there to witness it. And all I can say is in 2023 and going into 2024, Steve Urkel will pop your ass. Okay? A lot of y'all that want to get all rah rah and all hoopty hoop and jump up and down, right? And like to make verbal threats and talk about you gonna get this and you gonna pop this person and you gonna smoke that person and you going this and you going that. A lot of y'all are talking crazy and you talk crazy in front of other people, right? So now you got witnesses if some shit were to go down. And whether you got something on you or not, if you're illegal, you're going to be in the wrong, obviously. And then that's just going to be a get out of jail free card to the Steve Urkel that pops your ass. And if you are carrying, legally, I'm saying you the one making all the threats. Like, I don't know whether that just comes from the inner city or the way that y'all interact with other people. But the thing, let me say this: the Steve Urkels, the ones that do carry, okay, they don't play that shit. They don't know when y'all are playing, where the edge is, right? So you out there, like they don't know where the line is when you serious and when you playing. Or when you transition from when you playing and then you serious, or when you serious and then if they pull out on you, then all of a sudden now you want to switch up and be like, hee hee ha ha, I was just playing. It's too late then. It's too late then. Okay? It is a new era, and moving forward, it will continue to be a new era. All that shit in the past, okay, all that stuff in the past with like the old niggas and the old heads, you know what I mean, that were running around and talking about use your fist and them days are over. Younger black people, they don't fuck with the fist and all that other shit. Okay? And the crime, everybody's on edge now. The crime is crazy, the carjackings, all that stuff. So motherfuckers out here are ready. Again, it ain't everybody, okay? The Pookie machine, a lot of, and the thing is I don't even think Pookie like actually has that many guns because like they don't have them on them. You know what I'm saying? The guys that are out here really doing crime, really out here making money, they just have a gun on them to protect themselves. They don't get themselves involved in stupid shit. They don't get themselves involved in stupid arguments. They out there, they moving weight, they moving their drugs or whatever it is. They taking the money and they take care of their girlfriend or their baby mom or their family, and they breaking off their ma dukes and all that other stuff. They ain't got no time for the dumb shit, for the fuck shit. But you got these clout chasing niggas out here, young and old. Cause I seen some older ones too, and I'm sitting there looking at the nigga like, you still on this? This is what you're about. I'm like nigga, like you about to be 40 and this is what this you're still on this? You know what I mean? Like this shit is just mind boggling, right? But I'm just saying, we have it's a different era. It's a different population. And I'm saying, in a minute, you're gonna start seeing shit like that in the news. You're gonna start seeing a lot more cases of, he was fucking around and he found out. Okay, you're gonna start seeing a lot more cases of that for you types that are the rowdy type. I'm not even worried about the cats that are out here and they busy trying to make money and they gotta worry about their ops and whatnot, right? Because they don't get involved in the dumb shit. They trying to stay beneath the radar. They trying to make their money. They ain't out here flashing on the gram doing some dumb shit like K Flock. They not doing none of that shit. And like I said, a lot of you cats from New York, some of y'all are really dumb because y'all be running around. Ooh, I get busy with it. You're in the rap songs with your, trigger fingers and shit like that. And then every state around you, right, has concealed carry. Right? Every state around you, maybe not like Connecticut or something. I think Connecticut got laxer laws than New York. But all the states around you, you go into Pennsylvania, you know what I'm saying? You go into what's next to does New York border? Hold on, let me see. What states border New York? Let me see real quick. Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island. I thought Ohio might have touched it. I'm definitely wrong about that. Ohio's on the other side of Pennsylvania. Right? But I'm saying, I should really focus on, because I know New Hampshire got some silly gun laws and stuff like that, but I know their carry laws are a little bit more lax. But you start creeping around Pennsylvania, that was the whole thing with the Buffalo shooter and how he went up and was able to get what he needed to get, in Pennsylvania and then bring it back into New York. All I'm saying is it's a different day. Y'all got to calm down with all the threats and all the ruckus, and you going to do this to this person and do this to that person, okay? Because, guys got that shit right on them. Right on them. As you talking, they reaching in their pocket. They reaching in a windbreaker and shit like that. As you're talking crazy, and the crazier you talk, they're already popping the safety off. I'm just saying, I'm trying to, save some lives here, because a lot of y'all haven't gotten the memo. You know what I mean? Y'all out here thinking like this shit that happened in Brooklyn, like last week, where there was a guy, he looked like he was Jewish. He was with his girlfriend and he got in a verbal altercation and the guy stabbed him to death. Okay? Like that type of shit, there again, depending on, who we're talking about, but it's at a point where certain places it's not going to go down like that. Just like this shit in Philadelphia in front of City Hall with the bikers, and they just arrested a 26-year-old, the one that was jumping on the back of the window and smashed the window in. And, she's, I don't know, she's some LGBTQ chick in a lesbian relationship with her partner and got, 2 kids. And I'm like, how the hell do you have 2 kids and you in a lesbian relationship? Like, was there a dude or you bi? Would you swing both ways? Were you fucking with dudes at first and then he broke your heart and then you dealing with women? You get in vitro. Like, I was just like, how does that shit work? Is it two single moms that got together and decided that they was gonna be on some lesbian shit? I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing, where her and I could have a whole conversation about that and women and as we always see, oh, she's got more heart. She almost got her freaking wig pushed back right in front of her child, quiet as is kept. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, oh, she had more heart. She stood up to that dude. No, the dude probably thought it was a dude at first and then put the gun back in his waistband because he recognized that it was a female. I see a lot of people saying a whole bunch of dumb shit. Okay, that's most likely what happened. As soon as she started talking, it was like, wait a minute, because she came out the car. I thought it was a dude when she got out the car, and then I was like, oh, that's a female. I'm like, oh, he messing with a dyke bitch. I'm like, oh yeah, and he probably didn't think there were kids in the back of the car when he stomped on the car. It was mad because again, all that cutting bikers off and, cutting the traffic, when they in their little caravans and shit like that, they get mad about that shit. That happened, a couple years back, with the Asian dude in the Range Rover and the with the biker gang and he ran over the Puerto Rican dude and then they chased him down and then pulled him out the car and then assaulted him and all this other type of stuff, right? And everybody was talking about it, who was right, who was wrong, because the motorcycles were trying to brake check the dude, and he hit the bikers, and then got nervous, ran over to one dude, was damn near. I don't know if he was paralyzed or damn near paralyzed. I know there was so, obviously he couldn't. His injuries were so severe that he in the hospital he was essentially paralyzed. But I'm just saying, like. All that I'm gonna intimidate. We the only ones with guns because our guns are illegal. Like, dude had the shit fall out of his damn. Like, first of all, that's the first sign of a legal gun. Because I don't know what it is about niggas, street niggas, and guns, and motherfuckers can never get themselves a proper holster. They go out of their way to get whatever gun they fucking want and carry it around illegally, but never have a damn proper holster. And then they do dumb shit like shoot themselves in the thigh or some other stupid shit. It's fucking retarded. But I'm just saying, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for somebody to get out there and all get all stupid with it. You know what I mean? Because this whole idea about, we got these tough guys and they're all street, and then you got the lames and they're all cowards and shit like that. I'm like, technically speaking, police officers would fall in the quote unquote lame category. Many of them. You know what I mean? They're not up on the latest trend. You know what I mean? They're not the coolest motherfuckers in the world, but they know how to shoot. And I'm saying police officers ain't even the fucking best shooters out here. Okay? There's cops that they only use their gun to go training. They don't enjoy shooting. It's a part of the job and shit like that. And we see how many people, in America get smoked when they come across the fucking police and, oh, she tried to hit me with her car, empty the magazine, right? We see that. Like, I'm just saying, like, I see a lot of black men that run around and they think that them getting loud and talking some gangster shit scares and intimidates everybody. And I'm saying it might scare and intimidate people. But you know what it does for people who actually fucking carry? It gives them a fucking reason to push your fucking wig back because they are scared. What do you think they're going to tell the police officers, after when you laying on the ground with your brains leaking? What do you think they're going to tell the police officers? Well, I was in fear of my life. And then they're going to, freaking hand them their USCCA card or some shit like that. Or their what's the other one? Law Shield. Y'all. Again, I'm like, I would have thought that shit type of shit ended. You know what I mean? Like all that type of shit where what was like the stupid shit motherfuckers used to do in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Where they would bump chests with each other and get real close and they'd have their chins up in the air like, oh yes, yes, you have a beautiful carotid artery. You know what I'm saying? Like just dumb shit. Just dumb shit. Yeah, just expose all your vitals, why don't you? But I'm like, oh, you know what? Hey, some of y'all gonna fuck around and find out. Just like that guy, and we've already seen some of the shit. I think they had the shit. It wasn't black people, but it was out there in Arizona in front of the whatever the chain of like 7-Eleven type stores that they had out there. And the guy, he tried to rob the pregnant woman or something. Y'all seen that video? He tried to like rob a pregnant woman, and then she pulled out the gun and shot at his ass. And then he was on the ground, begging for his life and shit like that. You gonna start seeing more shit like that. Because like that whole the era of, oh, you look like a victim, like what, like if people are carrying, like, who looks like a victim, like it's not, and like size doesn't matter. That's why I try to tell women all the time that always running around, the black woman is not protected. Okay, then carry the fuck, you can go get the paperwork. Go do some real empowering shit as opposed to just, fucking, talking about feminism all the goddamn time. Go really empower yourself and be able to protect yourself. You know what I mean? And you notice whenever a woman, blows away a fucking Pookie, you never hear any of the feminists talking about how empowering that was. They keep wanting to run with the narrative of, bringing up all the examples of when some black woman gets fucked up because she ain't had nothing on her. And then sit there and talk about, and where were black men and what were black men doing? You know what I mean? Like even with this chick in Philly, the lesbian chick, that's clearly racially ambiguous and biracial, whatever the fuck she is. People are like, well, where's black men protecting this woman? I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, there's no way for black men to win that one. If black men did protect her, it would have been, it's because she's light skinned, right? And then by the same token, the arguments are being made that black men didn't protect her, when I'm like, clearly this woman is racially ambiguous. Go watch the other interview of her, which where she got her cornrows out and her hair is all fucking, curly and shit. She looking like, she's like Spanish or some other shit. I'm like, where's this black woman that you all are talking about? She may have embraced black culture. She might even have a black parent or grandparent. You know what I mean? But I'm seeing dumbass comments talking about, the idea that, oh, black men, they should have protected her. And I'm like, and she's getting out the car, guns in her face, and she's just not phased. Again, like I said, some people, oh, it was so brave of her. It's stupid if you ask me. It was stupid if you ask me. And the thing is had she had a firearm on her person when she got out that car, and the dude had the gun and raised it up to her, and then she just waited a few moments, for the ambush and shit like that, she could have smoked him and it would have been perfectly justified and legal. Maybe not if he was, when he got to the other side of the bike and he was like putting it away and shit. Not then, but I'm saying prior to that, she could have smoked his ass. But if she had it on her, you know what I'm saying? Then when she got out the car, she would have had the fire. He already dropped the shit. But anyway, there's multiple scenarios that could have played, with that. But I'm just saying, the reason I'm making this video is because of dudes making threats, talking about they gonna kill somebody or they gonna pop somebody or they gonna, engage in some sort of violence against a person and not knowing that person carries. Like, you talking shit. This motherfucker got a fucking hollow in the chamber. Okay? Blow the back of your head out, have your brains on the concrete looking like somebody smashed a watermelon. You know what I mean? Some of y'all don't, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? You're not, it's not the 90s, okay? Even when you're not in the hood, the squarest, lamest, corniest Steve Urkel motherfucker out here now will push your shit all the way back. All the way back. If you don't believe me, go to your local gun range on a freaking on a and go in the middle of the week after 6 o'clock and look who's in there. It ain't nothing but squares. It ain't nothing but people who look like they a goddamn librarian or some shit like that. It ain't nothing but that in there. You know what I mean? And these dudes can shoot the fucking a fucking gnat off of a tick. And y'all over there, just thinking that, oh, let me act crazy and that'll make people be intimidated, or you get the people like that are running around like they're in the goddamn UK with their little knives and shit, thinking that they're fucking samurai. Like, no, like, nigga, ain't nobody having a knife fight with you. Motherfuckers will pop your dumb ass. And you'll be sitting there, with your legs all stiff and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just I don't know. It's so stupid to me when I see people, doing this shit. And this is the second time I've seen that shit. And I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, motherfucker, like, ever since 2013, like, America is awash in guns. Everybody fucking got one. Not everybody, but you get what I'm saying. A lot of people got, especially black people. Google this shit. Google during Donald Trump's presidency, what demographic purchased the most firearms? It's African Americans. Okay, people who don't have criminal background checks because they obviously filled out a 4473, which you gotta state what your fucking race is. Non-Hispanic African American. It's on the fucking, what is that? The I think it's the first page. Because ATF switched shit around where all of your information is now on the first page, making it easy for them to, have a fucking registry. They did that shit on purpose. It used to be on the second page. They moved it to the first page. That way they can just, when they go there to check, they can just sift through all the the boxes that these FFLs have to hold, and they can see your name right at the top, so that, they can go and figure out, when was this gun purchased? Y'all. I mean, it's just like, it reminds me of that fucking, y'all saw that shit with that undercover cop. Unfortunately for him, she was an undercover cop, but nah, like, he really thought, and I'm saying she could have been any regular woman, but the guy where the chick was wrestling with the dude, and she was like, I'll kill you, right? And then he was like, what did he say? He was. He was like, oh, you shot me, bitch. Oh, you shot me for real, right? Y'all remember that shit? Where they were wrestling? He basically, I don't know whether he was going for her gun, but basically he tried her. And she was like, I told you I'll kill you, right? Y'all remember that, right? So I'm just saying, like, I'm like, I hate to see people find out the hard way, but that's just the reality. You know what I mean? All that, I'm gonna make verbal threats and Ray Ray and Pookie's the only one bold enough, to have a firearm on their person, and you got the Supreme Court, thank God for fucking Clarence Thomas. I know y'all get uptight about Clarence Thomas and all that shit, but nah, like what do you think shit would look like if the Democrats had their way, and then they were up there and they were saying, what do you want to call it? They were up there saying that the Second Amendment is only for militias and you can't have a gun outside your fucking home. I see people in New York getting fucked up every day. Every day you turn on the news and somebody in New York is getting fucked up and nobody can respond. You know what I mean? And the freaking New York police are just running around like they're God's gift to New Yorkers. It's just the dumbest shit in the world. I would never live in New York, not in a million years, with some stupid ass law. So I'm just supposed to be out here with nothing but my ass. You know what I mean? You got wealth inequality and poverty and immigrants, that sooner or later, even they're going to get, freaking desperate and start robbing and stealing and all of the type of shit. And I'm just supposed to be walking around whistling Dixie and shit with nothing on me. Like, the fuck out of here. I mean, completely get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I'll live in a red state all day, every day, just for the Second Amendment. Just for the Second Amendment. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's just your last line of defense. But I'm just like, part of me wants to see it. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants to see some of these idiots get their motherfucking wigs pushed back. Part of me wants to see it. Until it's like a thing where it's like, nah, nigga, like it ain't gonna go down like that. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing where it's like, they're lames and you can just go over there and fuck with them and you can intimidate them and you can talk crazy and they're not going to do anything because, they want no parts of it. Like, nah, them days are over, man. Them days are over. Now, for the most part, most of them are just going to avoid you, not be in the same space, not be in the same area and everything. But sometimes niggadry is just unavoidable. Sometimes you just can't avoid it. Like, the shit is just there. You're at some common place like Walmart or some shit like that, and motherfuckers want to get stupid with it. And you sitting there saying, God damn it, man, I do not want to be sitting up in court after I pop this motherfucker. That's what you're saying to yourself. I do not want to have to fucking go. So you're trying to avoid. But sometimes you just get some irate black man that just wants to, they just want to, what the fuck do you call it? They just want to, just show out. You know what I mean? Let me show you how motherfucking crazy I can be. You want to see crazy? I'll show you crazy. Like, you ever see them niggas just running around like that? All the white people are like gasping and clutching their pearls, like, oh my God. Old white ladies are like trying to run away, trying to get as far away, but they're all like intently observing, trying to figure out what's going out. You know what I mean? All the 15-year-olds, they got their phones up, vertically, even though it should be in landscape. World star, waiting for some shit to pop off, right? We've seen these cases, right? Usually it's an irate person in Walmart or something like that, and they wielding a knife and shit. The cops come and, fucking pop their ass, right? But that's not what's going to happen. Like, it's not going, the cops ain't, by the time the cops get there, that person's already going to be subdued or going to need some medical attention by the time the police get there. That's what you're going to see. Because I'm like, I was having a conversation with another person about the whole shit. I was like, yo, seriously speaking, man, everybody should be acting like everybody carries nowadays. Like, everybody should be acting like everybody carries. Like, I don't know why people do that. I'll tell you what blows my mind. Like, people who road rage, and they get out the car and then they're like, yeah, get out the car, pussy. And they start punching the window and shit like that. Like, that blows my mind. Cause I'm like, what state was this in? And motherfuckers is like, oh, that was in North Carolina. I was like, yeah, they can pop your dumb ass. What state was that in? Oh, Pennsylvania. Yeah, they can pop your dumb ass. What state was that in? Florida. Oh, they definitely can pop your dumb ass. What state was that in? Texas. Oh yeah, they can definitely pop your dumb ass. You know what I mean? I mean, and I'm saying, you can look at a concealed carry map, like more than half of this country is constitutional. Sorry, my phone died. But yeah, like I was saying, more than half this country is constitutional carry. I was trying to open up the damn app, and I guess opening up the app like took the last little bit of battery life I thought I had, and that shit just went to zero. Hold on, let me pull this up. Where's my map at? I got my concealed carry map on here. Where's this at? States. So constitutional carry is in, and obviously some of these states don't even matter because barely anybody lives there. Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, and Indiana. And then all the other rest of the states are all shall issue. The entire West Coast and the entire East Coast, thanks to NYSERPA v. Bruin. Thank you very much, Clarence Thomas. Okay. So America is a country now in its entirety. They got to work out some kinks in some of these lower district courts, but all that's going to change. All that shit will be done by the end of next year. Okay. They're going to bring in all of these rogue liberal courts, and they're going to be like, you cannot stop people who are not prohibited persons from carrying lawfully a firearm, wherever they go, with the exception of like federal and courts and, other obvious places, post office and shit like that, federal property. Other than that, it like that's going to be the new normal. So all the fucking, I'm just going to go out here and act crazy and ain't nobody going to do shit. I'm like, yeah, right now, I'm like, y'all are on your, I don't even know what you want to call it. You call it the, you're at the end of the year phase, or the, the end of the road phase, as it pertains to that, because all of that is going to change very soon. And you're just going to see more incidents of, I don't want to say vigilante justice, but you're going to see more incidents of, cops getting there, and, the whoever was acting a damn fool is on the ground and they got to get picked up by the ambulance. And people are going to be like, oh, what happened? Oh, he was acting crazy. Oh, what'd you do? I shot him. like that's what it's going to be. But by the way, I was in fear of my life, so I shot him. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? So all the acting rowdy and doing whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can go, act a fool and tear some shit up and whatnot. But when that shit starts to affect individual people, I'm just telling you, you're gonna see more and more people individually, handling, their business, when, you pose a threat to them. So, I'm like, that day of, I got muscles, I'm the loudest, I'm kicking over church benches, I'm using a whole bunch of profanity, you know what I mean? I'm just acting crazy on the public bus. Like, that shit is coming to an end. We're not there yet, but it's coming to an end. It's going to come to an end. So I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to, just share this little public service announcement, because I'm just looking at certain people. I'm like, really? You're still doing this? Like, you're still on this. You're still on this. You're still making verbal threats about what you going to do to somebody, and you going to pop them and pop this, and I got the ratchets and all this other dumb shit. You know what I mean? Black people are real funny with the way that they got to call a gun everything but a gun. I'm gonna pull out my iron. I'm gonna pull out my toaster. I'm gonna pull out my fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pull out the glizzy. I'm gonna pull out the brisket. I'm gonna pull out the blicky. You know what I mean? I mean, we call a gun everything but a fucking gun. I mean, a gun should just jump up and just look at black people and be like, I prefer that you call me by my designated pronoun. Like, I'm waiting for a gun to jump up and fucking say that, because black people want to come. Call a gun everything but what a gun actually is. So anyway, that's all I got to say. That's my video. SWP out. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe.